Hello everyone and welcome back. For this battle, it may not be that tactically impressive, but I wanted to put up here for more cinematic reasons. I think it was a pretty fun battle to watch. Maybe we'll learn something too. The ending was really cool, which is kind of why I'm putting up here. It was a really even match, really great battle, so let's jump right in. Alright, got a pretty standard katana setup, slightly modified since I got steamrolled a few battles ago. So I got the 3 Yari cavalry this time, 2 Bo Ashigaru, 5 Katana Samurai, one of them a veteran, and 2 Yari Samurai. Over here, we have 3 Bo Ashigaru, 2 Yari Ashigaru, 3 Nodachi Samurai, and 2 Katana Samurai. I think he has some units waiting in ambush. We'll see them come out later. Now, on this map, I really like to set up on the workshop side. Not only is the workshop the best capturable building in my opinion, but I figured the other guy is always going to start on the side with 2 buildings, seeing as, well, there's 2 buildings, and it's enticing. And I really like to use choke points. With my Katana Corps, I normally have the infantry advantage like 90% of the time. So if I can fight in a small, compact area where I can use that quality infantry, that's good for me. So I normally like those choke points, and being on different sides of the river allows me to use that. So here we go. We're just going to start by capturing the buildings. I'll just fast forward, because we're just going to sit here and capture the buildings. So let's look at advantages. Missile advantage, he has a big missile advantage. His 3 units to my 2. In fact, I think one just came out of hiding. Yeah, he has 4 Bo Ashigaru, not 3. So he has twice as many missile units as I do. So he has a big missile advantage, can't afford to really skirmish. Infantry advantage is definitely mine, assuming no scary infantry units come out of nowhere. And then cavalry advantage is, at the moment, it's mine. I have 3 against his none, but I have a feeling there's plenty of cavalry waiting in ambush. So I'm going to put my bows here, just to kind of be a deterrent. So I said I'd have a bad skirmishing advantage, and that's true, so why am I kind of putting my bows up all aggressively? Well, I kind of want to deter him from moving to the sword dojo and keep him from capturing it as long as possible. Okay, so my cavalry is coming around to be on this side. I figure it's better than having to try and worm him through the little choke point. So yeah, that's when his cavalry is going to come through. 2 Yari cavalry coming, doing the same thing I'm doing. So good move there. I was trying to kind of hit his missile units off guard, but he's setting up pretty well, and I'm not able to do that. So I'm just going to pull him back and just keep him on reserve for now. He's going to do pretty much the same thing, though he's coming from my missile units, so I ended up just pulling him back so he wouldn't get a cheap shot on him too early. The Yari are also going to detach from the control group and become independent, as the cavalry is going to be a big factor in this battle. So when I'm walking across the river to attack, I'm going to have my Yari spears covering the rear here on the river to keep the cavalry that's on this side of the river from coming up on the back. So I'll triple speed again because we're just capturing buildings. So he's going to send his cavalry over to hit mine. Interesting. Cavalry isn't really an advantage for me at this point, because think about it, I have the infantry advantage, so he's going to need to use his support units to kill my infantry and not waste them on my support units, which I don't really need. He has plenty of spears. He can use his spears to ward off my cavalry while his cavalry hits my infantry. So throwing him away early isn't a good idea for him. Again, he's going to go into the wedge formation, but not a bad use of the wedge formation there. That's kind of when you want to do it. I wasn't really moving. It was pretty much straight away charge, so for once that's some decent use of the wedge formation. But I'm going to come around and hit him from the side and the rear of my cavalry to get the charge in. Yari cavalry really need the charge. They're not very good in melee. Their attack and defense and armor are all low, but they have the big charge, so you got to get the charge, or they're going to be pretty much useless. He's moving his spears up too, but a little too late for them to be relevant, so I'm just going to massacre his cavalry here. His missiles also start shooting, surprisingly. They seem kind of far away, but apparently they're not far enough away. So his cavalry is breaking now. One of them has broken. The other is wavering. My other 2 cavalry, one of them is gone, but the other 2 are in okay shape. One's at 48, one's at 30. So I don't really need my cavalry in the battle at this point, unless some other units come out of hiding. I'm in pretty good shape. So I can just use these cavalry to just, hammer his rear and force him to micromanage even. So here we go. I'm moving up on the attack. My general, since they're running, my general will run ahead of the infantry sometimes, and that's bad. You want to keep him safe. So here comes his general out to chase my cavalry. So I stop. I'm like, oh, you want to come fight? Be my guest. But he doesn't take the bait. Meanwhile, my bows have started shooting back, and we are going to run up that hill. Let's see. I think it was my bows that took the shot. Yeah, I moved my Ashigaru my bow ashigaru in front of the infantry, so that the bows would be the ones taking the hit. So as you can see, my samurai are all in good shape. These two are at 118, everybody else is at 120. So he's hitting my bow ashigaru, and with the bad angle, he doesn't get off very many good volleys. So use the time there to really kind of hammer him. So that's when he's going to have Naginata warrior monks come out. Now that throws a little wrench in the plan, because now my infantry advantage isn't so great with those warrior monks. And another thing, he uses his nodachis well, and he gets a downhill charge. Not a huge one, but enough of a downhill charge to make a nice little impact in my katana samurai. So he manages to finagle the infantry advantage more in his favor, so we have a pretty even infantry fight. But I'm going to have the numbers here, and I'm going to be able to flank around with my reserves and hit him in the rear. That's when my cavalry will come around the spears and come around on this side to kind of hit the bows over here and just be a threat. So his Yari Ashigaru are being caught up in the infantry fight too. They're going to get cut down. My Yari Samurai are engaged too, since I believe all of his cavalry is gone. They can join the infantry fight. He's going to charge his general in. This is another general that has a lot of buffs, and he's going to be nearly impossible to kill too. So here I'm chasing off the bow ashigaru. My katana samurai doing a good job in melee. We have some wavering already with the bow ashigaru. And my bows have started pounding into his Naginata warrior monks, because they're really, really weak to the missile shots. So I want to take them down as quick as possible, because that's the strongest thing he has going for him in the melee fight. And there's my cavalry chasing off his bows. I don't want him hitting mine or my general. Luckily he's not shooting at my general. So let's see here. He has another unit of bow ashigaru coming up. I didn't quite hit them. And that's why I'm going to bring my cavalry around to the rear and smash into his the backs of his infantry. And his general. I was trying to kill his general, but he just had a really buff general, just wouldn't die. See, he still has 28 men left. So there I go into the charge. I bring this cavalry to do the same thing, but he's going to hit the bows. He's going to, since he has the least amount of men in the unit, he's going to be the bow killer. And this one's going to be the hammer and anvil guy. So let's see, where are my bows still shooting? Are they still shooting at the warrior monks? Yes, they are. They're down to 35 men. I used the rally ability on my general, keep him in the fight. Katana samurai, looks like they're going to win from the bows, hitting the warrior monks plus the katanas. Katanas are really good against Naginata monks. With their low defense and armor, katanas can really rip through them. So that's pretty much the perfect counter to warrior monks in melee. And there they go, they are going to shatter. It's pretty rare when you get to shatter warrior monks, but there they go. So my general, or not my general, my cavalry is hitting the bow ashigaru, they're shaken. And so we've just got a big melee fight going here. It's not going too well in my favor though. I'm starting to get torn up here. My katanas are mostly at half or less strength. So bows should have been shooting into the mass at this point, but I had him hitting the bow ashigaru and the warrior monks. I wasn't really paying attention. So I decided to bring my general into the fight. He has full defensive upgrades, so I'm not that worried about him dying. But I'm still trying to be careful. I have him hit the bow ashigaru instead of going into the melee fight at this point. So we'll see a lot of wavering. It's mostly just a slug it out thing here, so I'll fast forward it a little bit. See wavering all over. Of course, his general's still alive. There are 20 men still left in that unit. It's crazy. These katanas are going to come up too, and we're just going to have a slug it out melee fest right here. I'm just going to fast forward it because he brings his spears out to threaten my general, so I'd be sure to pull him back. And they are just fighting it out, fighting it out, and fighting it out. The bows are now shooting into the mass. I'll fast forward again. And people just getting cut down and dying. Nobody is routing from this main melee fight. Finally, his general breaks out of the infantry mass and goes for my bows, so my general moves in to cut him off too. I also send a katana samurai down there to hit him as well. My Yari samurai are gone. Did they rout, or did they... There goes a katana. Yeah, the Yari samurai are gone, so I don't have any good means to deal with his general, who is still alive. And this battle, which looked like it was very much in my favor, is now swung into his favor. I have hardly any katanas left. That one's at 51, then 47, and 31. But his numbers are also pretty broken up too. The only big unit he has is this Yari Ashigaru with 122. So I just gotta hope my men can hold out. I swarm his general and just really try and kill him. At least get him to shatter. Even like missile units can still do some damage to a cavalry unit if they pin him down. My general joins that fight, and his general is just not dying. I've had him swarmed all battle, and he's just not taking it. It even says unit winning decisively. So infantry battle's in his favor now. I decide to bring my general back to rally my men, and so does his. but he gets a couple arrows in the back, and he's going to shatter soon. He's wavering right now, and at 3 men, there they go. He has shattered. His avatar is gone. So I'm expecting, I'm expecting his troops to do the same. So I've lost all my units there. I just have the 1 Katana Samurai and the Bow Ashigaru, and my general's going to try and clean up here too. They'll be wavering. I'm just like, come on, just break, come on. But this Katana is still going. He's a veteran. I think just 1 chevron there. 39 men left in the unit. I brought my bows into melee combat. Maybe I should have kept them back, but I really just wanted to hold him down. And there we go, he's at 38. My general's still alive. He's at 11 men left in the unit. So it's going to be bows versus Katana Samurai. I think you know who's going to win that battle. So I just kind of pulled back and tried to hit him with my arrows. There go my Bow Ashigaru. So now it is down to 1 unit of Katana Samurai with 36 men. 35 now. And my general who has 11. So there are 2 units left on the field to finish this one out. I have him kind of fighting here, but I decided that was a bad idea, and I'd pull him back pretty soon. Because my general has the bow upgrade, just the first one, just so he has a bow and he has a ranged option. So I'm going to try and pepper him with arrows, kill as many of them as I can, and make this, whatever the last melee fight is, as good for me as possible. So I'm retreating far back so I can get some good shots off. There I turn around and start shooting. So he knows what I'm going to be doing, shooting with the general. And he's going to pull his men into this forest. Whoa, lag. And hide his cavalry, or his Katana Samurai in there to eat the arrows that I'm sending at him. So there you go, I'm just going to quadruple speed it. I'm getting a lot of lag here. I'm not sure why. So I'm just going to kind of slow it down for a second. Maybe something popped up in the background. So there I am, just shooting at his men, killing as many as I can. General will kill a couple of them. He's down to 33, 32 now. They're wavering too, and they're exhausted. My general is very tired. So I'm thinking the best way to go about killing this Katana Samurai. There we go, we're starting to recover. 2 frames per second, wow. Okay, so I'm just going to kill this general, or kill his cavalry, kill his katanas with my general. And I'm going to dismount my general to win this battle. So here we go, I'm moving up. I'm hitting his Katana Samurai with my bows. And they're wavering too, and they're exhausted. They're going to sit in there, and I'm going to run out of ammo here in a second. So I'm just shooting the bows. I inspired myself to get the better range shots. There we go, he's at 30 men. We are going to fast forward. He's moving over to the river, which is a good spot to be if you're going to try and neutralize a cavalry charge. But unluckily for him, I don't use the cavalry. I dismount. And your general's pretty strong as an infantry unit. Some people can compare him to a katana hero. I wouldn't go that far. But they are really strong dismounted, and they're fresh, so I can catch up to him. I don't want to risk anything with a bad cavalry charge. So it all comes down to this. He's going to stop on the far side of the river. My general's going to be chasing him, and we're just going to charge out and hope our side can pull it out for us. Here we go. This will decide the whole battle. And let's see what happens. They're wavering. They lost, wow, lost about 10. And there they go, they shatter. So there's the battle. Came down to that last charge. I lost 2 men. I'm down to 8. He lost about 10 in that charge. So he shatters, and there's the battle. So what an end. Comes down to the last 2 units. Luckily, one of them was my general, and he was able to win this. So thanks for watching, everybody.